Let's get into it. Sold Not For Sale podcast. Coach Colin here. We got Joe Rogan getting attacked by the ladies at The View. Very dismissive of Joe Rogan they are. Mainstream media in general is still so upset with what Joe has done. He had Trump on his podcast. He's had the whole mega team on his podcast, honestly. A good portion of the heavy hitters in Trump's cabinet have been on the podcast, and he endorsed himself. So that is a big problem. So expect the attacks to keep rolling in, but this one is just so special because they're shooing away one conspiracy theory, but they also have a conspiracy theory of their own. Oh, wonderful. I'm going to get them all tinfoil Speedos. Let's hear what they have to say right now. Let's go.
People want us divided, and they aren't just here in this country. They're foreign adversaries who are infiltrating our social media because it is prudent for us to stay that way. But so when you see something that really pisses you off, you should triple check that one.
Yeah. But I think that's why people like our show, because they know that we are checked by ABC News. But
we're checked by everybody.
Yeah. I mean, if we're wrong, we have, the legal note here.
The human legal note.
But we went from Walter Cronkite basically to this guy, Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. I checked it. He believes in dragons? He believes in dragons.
Did you triple source that?
Yes, I did. And he also thinks that dragons, like dinosaur-y type of animals, roamed the earth when people did. So this is the type of really, really bad information that's going out there.
Well, in defense, there are some really good news.
It's possible that Donald Trump did roam the earth when dinosaurs were here.
There are some really good news kind of influencer types, and I think it's great that they're getting information about global and current events in front of younger people who maybe don't tune into traditional media. But to Sarah's point, there has to be some fact checking and actually verification of the things that are shared, because I spend a lot of time on Instagram Reels and I'm served up things that I get outraged about, and then I realize, oh, that's not even true, but I have the sense to go and look it up. But what I do worry about with this, like the Blue Sky versus X, because a lot of people I follow on X, Twitter, have now left to go to Blue Sky, I worry we're all going into our own echo chamber. So we had this, this election that was tense. Donald Trump won, and the right is going to stay on X, and then the left is all going to be on Blue Sky. How do we try to talk to each other?
Unfortunately, I will have to say, the other side, I think, has driven people away, because it's not just discourse. It's nasty name calling and coming after your family, and I'm going to do this to you. And I don't think anyone should have to take that from anybody if they don't have to. So I'm not sure, and I think a lot of Republicans who also are getting that because they have opinions that may differ from what is being said, they're moving as well, because and I know why also, because as I believe, Elon Musk is the actual vice president.
Oh, I hope the whole crowd went, ooh. I hope they all did that because some sign flashed and said they had to do something. Oh, man. See, this is the thing. This is where Whoopi got it all wrong. Listen, I got no problem with the Elon Musk is the real VP. I even say that he's the Illuminati representative for Trump. He's the one who talks to the lizard people. The lizard people have a huge lobby when it comes to the government, and someone needs to talk to them, so obviously it's Elon. And JD is the VP for the Republicans, and RFK is the VP for the Democrats, Trump has it all laid out. He's a CEO, Elon Musk is like the chief tech officer. RFK is HR, the head of all HR. And JD is the chief marketing officer. That's exactly what's going on, But if you're going to bring that theory up, okay, you gotta embrace dragons. Whoopi, you got to understand, anyone who's going to believe that theory is also going to believe in dragons. You can't outcast us. You gotta, come on. She doesn't know yet, though. I'm going to help her out. I'm going to send her a tinfoil Speedo. We're going to talk a little bit. We're going to run her through the whole thing. We'll take her through Freemasonry and all the symbolism in Hollywood first, and then we'll take her into some deeper stuff. You know what I mean? We'll show her that all the presidents are related except for one, Donald Trump, and we'll show her that they're all related to the Queen, and we'll show her some things. Don't worry. We'll get her on the right track, guys. Oh, it's amazing. I love it. And what's really interesting is how she brings up how the left actually got driven out by the right when it came to X. Who drove out Don Lemon? Who drove out what's her name with the Trump hair? The lady with the Trump hair, she's black. Joy Reid. Who drove them out? Nobody did. You know, it's just funny that she brings up the right being all of threatening and everything like that. Kind of like the way Nancy Mace was rushed at this stage, right?
It's ridiculous. It is the day after Trans Day of Visibility. We have had dozens of trans people die this year because of the hate and lies that you are spreading. And if we want an internet, are we building an internet with free speech for everyone or just the privileged few? Are you going to stand up to the lives of trans people, black and brown people? Are we fighting for justice or are we fighting for big tech? I thought we were fighting for justice here.
That his penis isn't going to be in my bathroom. So, at any rate, but we have a responsibility. If you're pro-man watching me undress in a dressing room, you're part of the problem. But we're here to talk about the internet and Roe.
Nancy Mace, ladies and gentlemen, didn't miss a beat. Didn't even move. Nothing. She is a rock. Nancy Mace is great. Absolutely great. And it's funny how the left, all of a sudden now it's like, hey, what is this about big tech, black, brown? It's Trans Day. This is she's just throwing everything at her at the same time. He's like, what about Palestine? What about Gaza? What are you gonna do? He's just what about what about Peanuts the squirrel? Do you care about Peanuts the squirrel? Do you know what happened to him? I do care about Peanuts the squirrel. I don't want to upset anybody. I know it was sad. I made a video. I know. Just very interesting, you know, or maybe it's like this person who threatened Nancy Mace's life recently in a video that's so wild I can't even play it for you guys. But basically they said they want to catch her inside of one of the washrooms because they're a trans person and they want to hurt her until she passes away. That's what they basically said in the most nicest terms I could come up with. Maybe that's who Whoopi's talking about. You know, those sensible people on the left, you know. Like those people who were shrieking and crying that Trump is president, threatening to do things that are just threatening to shave their heads. They're shaving their heads. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, man. Very funny stuff. I do believe that Whoopi's right, though. Elon Musk is 100% the real VP, you know? And JD, like I said, JD's the marketing officer. JD's the one who he comes in and he's like, hey, guys, hey, my name's JD. And this is not eyeliner. That's just the way my eyes look. I served in the army and my wife is brown. Let me tell you about something crazy we're doing called Mega. You know, we're just like, wow, this guy's fantastic. And the MAGA doors open and Trump's like, I'm going to bomb Russia if they don't stop. They know they better stop. I'll bomb their China friends too. It'll spread faster than the virus. JD's like, oh, let me just close that door. Mr. President having a conversation. Anyway, let's talk about making America great. Huh? And we're all like, whoa, this guy's fantastic, you know? And Elon's the one who's like, I make sure that the lizard people don't eat the president. They tend to want to eat the presidents. And I keep them from doing that. I have much money to keep them at bay. I've been doing that for quite some time. That's my Elon impression. But now let's get into what Whoopi's actually talking about, because she is taking this out of context 100%. Now, does Joe Rogan believe in dragons? Let me tell you something. Yes. Kind of. But he's just having a conversation, and this is where she got it from.
Like these kind of far out there ideas. How do you like this idea? There's a group of people that say that dragons were real, and I'll explain.
Ooh.
So around the same time period, so to speak, and I'm not one of these people, so I'm probably going to get the details wrong
like
a little
Matthew
bit.
McConaughey movie right
yeah,
now.
seriously. But so around the same time period in, you know, China, South America, Africa, all these different Rome, all these places, images depicted people fighting dragons, right? And every dragon was slightly different, but it was all a giant scaly animal that could fly. So when you break that down, you think about the fact that large birds had a hard time being fossilized because their bones are so porous, right? So because they have like hollowish bones, they break down very easily. They don't fossilize. So the group that says this basically they're saying the evidence is the reason there's no fossils of dragons is because they had bird bones and they were actually very delicate animals. But a handful of these small population of these giant flying lizards existed and basically encompassed all these different countries where they all depicted fighting dragons in their own way, and they were all killed off by knights or whatever it is, and then didn't fossilize.
What?
So it's like the science is saying that if there were lizards big enough to fly around and eat people, they didn't have bones that could fossilize.
So it'd be like an eagle,
right? And that's why all these human populations around the world have depictions of them, because they did actually exist.
Now, are there any stories of dragons written in the times of people that they actually had the written word, or is it just depictions?
I don't know. Not my field.
That would be interesting, because are these depictions ancient accounts told by generation after generation, passed down?
I think so. I don't know. I don't know anything about dragons or whether it's real, but I think it's interesting to think, oh, well, the science supports that if there were flying lizards, their bones wouldn't have fossilized, and these have been passed down, stories that have been exaggerated and passed down from generation to generation.
And some of them breathe fire, but some of them don't, depending upon
which culture it was significant to.
I wonder what the fire is supposed to represent, or they're just people are full of shit.
Probably that one.
Yeah, it's probably made it sound even cooler.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Not only did I kill him, he was trying to burn me. Do you hold any weight? Do you think that holds any weight?
No,
that there's actually dragons?
I mean, we know there were large flying lizards during the times of dinosaurs, right? The only weight that it could possibly hold is that a few of those somehow survived much later than we previously thought. But I think that there were dragons attacking human beings and civilizations? No, I don't. But it's still interesting.
It's so much cooler if there were.
Right.
And the fact that we know that pterodactyls did exist, that's cool.
Right.
It would be way cooler as if they existed with people.
Right, 2,000 years ago.
Why is that? But why is that so much cooler to us?
I don't know.
It's people would dedicate giant chunks of their life trying to find out if pterodactyls did coexist with human beings at one point in time. They really would.
Absolutely.
Imagine if there was a 100-foot pterodactyl snatching kids.
It'd be terrifying.
Oh my God.
See, it's just Joe Rogan being Joe Rogan. And listen, he's sober in this episode, and in another episode down the line, probably had some whiskey, probably lighting it up with the boys, and he's like, dragons are real. Forrest Galante told me. That's it. That's all it was. Regular Joe Rogan stuff. Now, the best part of this, I had to save it for you guys. The best part of this video is that this was reposted by Joe Rogan himself. Joe Rogan said, "That's my new official X description." And oh, Joe did not disappoint. This is all it reads in his description on X now. Dragon believer. Oh, no one likes the ladies at the View, but come on. You got to thank him for this. This is amazing. Now we got Joe Rogan just saying he's a dragon believer, And join all of us who are a part of the JRE family. Be dragon believers with all of us. Hey, listen, dragons, lizard people, I mean, you know what I mean? Maybe the dragons coincide with the lizard people, we'll come up with a theory. We'll mesh this together proper. But I think it all comes down to what Joe Rogan said before about the ladies of the View.
They get so much hate watching and hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean, it is a rabies infested hen house.
I think that's all it is, guys. And little bonus for the people who are still watching. There's speculation right now. Let me make sure that I saved it. I'm pretty sure I did. Let me just see if I bookmarked it. I know I did. Right alongside the new Attorney General pick. You heard of Pam? New Attorney General pick? Oh, man. Nah, it's not here. Let me just find it. And listen to these words. They'll put joy in your heart. The View getting canceled. So there is speculation. There's ABC has removed The View from its 2020. Oh no, okay. So that's in 2023. This person here who does bring legit news, they say there's new leaks that indicate The View's in the process of being canceled, and that makes sense. It makes no sense to have these shows, because this is what the mainstream media is in the business in. They want to mold people's reality. And if you have a bunch of personalities where everybody is like, I don't believe a word these people say, at that point, it becomes like, why do we have these people? You know? Slowly, their demographic is dying off anyway. So it's like, why have these people? That's why they're trying to fill it with half older women, half younger women. But I think it's going to fall away. I hope that it's going to fall away. I mean, it would be the best Christmas present ever to find out. To see Whoopi Goldberg doing street interviews like Don Lemon. Don Lemon and Joy Behar, they start their own podcast, start examining all these conspiracies that they got. Next thing you know, you see Joy Behar, she's like, you know what? Maybe dragons are real. I don't know. You know what? Here, Whoopi. I actually miss Donald Trump. I mean, we used to be good friends. I used to have him for Christmas. He was a great guy. I don't know why we did that to Donald. It'd be a great podcast. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to bring you that little tidbit of funness. And, Joe Rogan is now a full-fledged dragon believer. Can you believe he became a dragon believer before Eddie Bravo could make him a flat earther? Wow. The power of dragons, the power of the view. There you go, guys. Like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, helps the channel tremendously. And other than that, I'm out.